Hello and welcome to the final round of VollGazzRacing on MotoGP 22. We're waiting for race participants for ages, so I'm presuming somebody has disconnected whilst loading into the session. No. So, 8 riders. Platt is racing here in the Saxon Ring. Low 16, most likely to go with a benchmark, so we'll see who can get closest to him. I'm expecting it to be VTR, given he is the current championship leader. I'll give you the championship standings. So VTR leads the standings on 89 points. Howling is 10 points behind on 79, and Nelson is 25 behind in third, with Sire in fourth on 63. Those are the four riders who can win the championship today. Sire probably can't win it, actually, or Nelson, thinking about it, because 25 and 6 points when with 8 people the points difference is 12, so yeah, they're out. So it's just Howling now on personal elimination. So 10 points. So if Howling can win both races and VTR will be off the podium in at least one of them, and if one gets third place, Howling can be champion. But we'll see what happens. We'll go on board with Platt because he'll give us the perfect opening lap. I'll go on third person for once instead of cockpit, because we've seen cockpit a lot of times. Go on third person, you can get the full experience of things. Ooh. So VTR is the heavy favourite to win this championship. He's 10 points in the lead. He's taken the most race victories this season, so it's all down to him. But Saxon Ring, this is where his championship when he seasoned season 5 all went to pass, where he finished 9th place, I think, for an overcooked rear tyre. Where he comes into turn 1, nice rear wheel dipping up and off the ground. Nice and tight through turn 1. Change direction to turn 2. Missing the apex quite a lot there, but putting it back for a late apex into turn 3, running the curb, and then change direction to turns 4, 5, there we go, left, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's it. All these consecutive left-handers. Always at the curb, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time there. And now to turn 8. Oh, he's lost the front. The front has tucked on the Yamaha. And it's going to be Nelson who is going to be the first person to cross the line, assuming doesn't invalidate in this final sector, to the former 2-time champion. Nobody has gone on to win 3 titles. Nelson, unfortunately, looks like he's not going to be able to do it. Platt definitely won't be able to do it because he didn't race this season for most of this time. The VTR and Howling have the chance to become first-time Division 1 champions. Howling already has won the Season 4 Division 2 title. VTR pole position currently 17-3. Where is his title rival Howling? He's coming out the penultimate corner. I know, it's the last corner. Hard on the gas, up the hill. And Howling goes fourth, so I'm assuming he's crashed. And we saw the last time Platt was on a Yamaha, he did some great team tactics and allowed Howling to finish on the podium to gain more points over VTR in turn Master Rio Hondo. So I'm assuming he'll do the same, or if he might just want to win his last race. We'll see. But Platt, where is he? He's red sector 1, a 16 is coming up. He only has to do, I think, a high 16 and he will go first. But I'm sure he'll want to do like a 16-2 or 16-3 or 16-1, something along those lines. Running the Yamaha version of the Pecco Bagnaia 2023 helmet. Can't get my words out, saved my life. Squatting the rear down the ride-out device into the final corner for a 1:16 point. What? 10. 17 flat for Platt. maybe just struggling there with the adaptation from time trial to online, and Howling goes into 4th place, currently 1.2 seconds off his title rival. Not ideal situation. Legendary, it's not gone the way it could have done for him this season. Unfortunately, consistency won him the Division 2 championship last season, but unfortunately this season the consistency's been his biggest weakness. I think he's just been trying to stick with the pace of Division 1 guys. He's been pushing that Suzuki harder than he could, and unfortunately that's cost him a lot of mistakes and chances of getting podiums. Well, he's currently on 2 improved sectors, as is Howling Siege, so we'll keep an eye on Howling's lap as we watch the Frenchman as he clips the curb at turn 10 and the front folds. Oh, and Howling smashes his head into the wall. His rider's definitely got a lot. He's definitely got broken neck, CTE, concussion, all kinds of things. Where's VTR? VTR starting his second lap now in his second run. Across the line over the crest of the hill. Braking just as the pit wall ends. Sideways into turn 1, taking a nice tight line. Just now change direction for the first left hand of the circuit, and then into the second right hander of the circuit. And he won't reach C1 now until turn 11. But it's a red sector 1 for VTR under the GP22 Ducati. Last time I'll be saying that today. For a factory Ducati anyway, obviously the GP22 is on board the Grassini and the Mooney bikes for 2023, so whoever gets those bikes next season will be still on the GP22. And it's a personal best for VTR Sire. Just inconsistencies for him this season, which is costing the chance. He could easily be in the championship fight, but unfortunately he's made too many crashes. He was probably the favourite coming into this championship, given his the bike he was on, the run he had at the end of last season. But unfortunately, just too many mistakes has cost him the chance of winning his second title. So VTR now enters the final corner. Can he find those 33 hundredths of a second? No, he's only able to find 1/10. Nelson currently 1.8 seconds off. And into turn 8. And the bike just refused there to turn in a little bit. And he's had a little bit of a wheelie as well. Platt and validating sector 1. So Platt's struggling to get a lap in, but he'll just probably leave it to the last moment to put an actual lap in as Craig now. Craig, he could have easily been a championship leader. Unfortunately, loads of bad luck in terms of connection issues. That definitely is not his fault. And you know, he was really consistent. He should have got 3 second places in the first 3 races, but it all went wrong, and since then he's never really got back to it. Nelson crossed the line and he jumps into 5th place ahead of his fellow Dutchman. And Craig now, the Repsol Honda teammate at Prix, which is the final corner. It still doesn't make any sense to me why Craig uses Rossi stuff for Repsol Honda, given that was 20 years ago and the relationship he's had with Honda since. But Craig Ganeta crosses the line and moves into 4th place. Jack Berman on board the factory KTM. He's currently in the first sector. Will he be doing a PB? Yes, he will. The number 50 for Jason De Pasquier. He's had a good comeback season. It's not been fantastic, but you know, he's had a couple of podiums here and there, showing some strong stuff. Not quite as strong, I believe, as he was in season 7, but you know, hopefully in the next season he can, if he does race, hopefully he and Finley can return to the form we know they can run at. Oh, and lots of crashes going on. You've got Legendary going down, Nelson going off track, and that unfortunately has cost Jack to sort of panic and go down. Platt now, this has got to be the 116 surely. Missed that. He could have just taken turn 8 a little bit more perfect, and he's dancing on the curb as well. So I think the bike's just not quite fully dialed in, but I still expect this to be a red sector 3 as Craig parks up and Jack gets out of the way, making sure they don't interrupt his lap. Running quite hot through the penultimate corner. not been the it seemed to be the first two sectors looked quite tidy, but the end of the lap's not gone quite how it could have gone. We crossed the line to do a 1:17 something because he's lost it though in that final corner, final two corners. If VTR can just tidy up a few corners, he could snatch pole position here, but we'll see. He exits the final corner and powers across the line down the straight, heading towards turn 1 for potentially the final time. Whoa, he's had a big snap on the front end of the rear end lifts as it's landed. The front just had all the weight lifted off it, and his bike's gone it's turned into a buckaroo. And Howling's gone down at turn 8. This turn 8 is probably the favourite. Turn 1, turn 8, favourite crashing places at the circuit. Whoa, and maybe it's not hard to crash at those corners. Turn 1, the front just overloads as you go downhill and you tuck at the front. Turn 8, you just kiss the curb and you're down. Very easily done. Legendary. Improving his last sector, given that he hasn't actually done a proper sector yet, a proper lap. I can't see his position changing much, but let's see. As he crosses the line, he does. He comes to the 7th place, so nicely done by the Frenchman. The number 22. Doing a nice stoppie there into turn 1. Running quite hot though, but he will be able to get to the box, put some fresh rubber in, low fuel load for one last attack. And here comes Craig to start his one of his final laps of the session. Can he jump onto the front row? He's just got to find just under a tenth of a second. Into turn 1, the front end's just making a couple of shapes. He looks okay. So here comes Craig into the final corner. Personal best currently is that's going to be enough to get onto the front row. But no, he's going to go into the pits because he's messed up the final sector. Jack Berman now improving. He needs to find 4/10 of a second or more to get onto the front row, and he has invalidated there. Cutting turn 10, touching the green ever so slightly. And that's enough to invalidate his lap time plat. Once again, red sector 1, destined for a 16 surely. Yamaha is decent at the circuit. The circuit's all about turning. It's horsepower. It's got no long straights. Horsepower's not needed. He's touched the grass there. So maybe he was really fast in time trouble. Maybe just online the bike's just not dialing in as he wants to. Or maybe so I would not be surprised if his actual race lap time would be faster than his quality time at this rate. He's made a bit of I don't know if that was a mistake there through turn 11. But hard on the brakes into the penultimate corner. A little bit wide again, but that was okay. And into the final corner, hard on the brakes, through the final corner. Lots of corner speed up to the line. This is definitely going to be a 1:16 surely. 16.6, there we go. He's got it. So Jack Byrne, once again, he's improving. He hasn't invalidated this time. He changed his direction for turn 11, down the waterfall. And hard on the brakes into the penultimate corner. And he lost the front there. He saved it, but he had to run on. And Siren now improving. Can he jump? His teammate VTR on the front row. Howling Siege looks like his championship might be in jeopardy because It's not looking good now, but Howling does tend to be a better racer than a qualifier. So we'll have to see what the Dutchman can do. He's definitely had better race results than qualifying results, I know that. And VTR improves, he moves the goalpost for Sai. Sai's got to find over half a second to jump into second place. And he is not able to do that. Howling Siege, he's improving his second sector. What can the current soon to be vice champion do in these final two sectors? Nice sector 3 done there. Change of direction, a little bit of a wheelie. Now it's full gas down the hill. Still improving. If he can just get any higher on the second row, that's all he needs. Nice tight line. Probably going to put the gas on a tiny bit earlier there. Into the final corner. Choose out, use the ride out device. Yes, up to the line, and he moves into 5th place. Great stuff there by Howling Siege. Jack Berman now, he's lost time in the third sector, and he's run out of fuel going into turn 12. Turn 12 being a victim for him twice now. And everybody's finished apart from Craig and Jack. So Jack's obviously finished. He's pulled out. So it will now just be Craig who is slowing down and might end the session with a wheelie, hopefully, because he ain't going to improve. Anyways, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person. He's invalidated that turn. It's Jack Berman. He's still rolling, and there we go. So it is Platt on pole position, ahead of VTR in second and Siren third. Craig in fourth, Howling fifth, Jack Berman sixth, Leisure 7th, and Minelson in 8th position. Right, everybody's ready up, so we've had to just get a drink, and we will now get going for the penultimate race of the season, and it's a potentially championship winning race for VTR. If he can finish 5 points ahead of Howling Siege, he will be champion. That's just as simple as it gets. And we are off for the penultimate time this season. VTR's not got the greatest of starts compared to people around him, but he's still in second place. Into turn 1 they go. Lots of people getting crossed up, and Howling, oh. You could not write that. So Sire it is who leads the way. That was just kidding. I don't know what they're thinking, 5 abreast into that corner, but VTR and Howland have gone down. But that's only going to benefit VTR. As one of the Hondas have gone down. That is Nelson, of course. It's Nelson. Craig and Jack have gone now. These forward, the only ones to stayed on. Through turns 9 and 10, Sire versus Platt. We'll see which can Sire hold off the Yamaha, and for how long. Into turn 12 maybe. Yep, Sire's round wide. He's not lost the front though. He's just going to use the V4 power to hold on to the lead. Into the final corner they go. Sire's got to use the horsepower and the braking stability to his advantage over that Yamaha. Yamaha, through all the twisty stuff and the corners, is going to close in. So he's just going to play it smart here. There's Craig and Jack are battling for the podium places, and that's going to allow VTR to close in. And Platt and Sire have made contact. And Craig's going to go up the inside of Jack Berman into turn 3, but Jack Berman's got the inside line for turn 4, and he's made contact. He's got... Oh, my word. Anyway, at least these two well, I think I've always made contact with everyone so far, so that one person's got away with some form of contact. Anyway, Platt looking for a move somewhere, but it's just the opportunity's not presented itself fully yet. That might do though, because Sire's at the curb. He's going to have a pull run through turn 11, and this might present the chance if Platt can just pull alongside, but Yamaha hasn't got enough power to. And Sire, all Sire's got to do is not run wide, and that's what he's done. But he's just about going to have the exit speed out of that corner to hold on. Sire, he needs to just, if he can just stop on braking himself, if he can, that's got to be the plan. Just keep to his braking markers. Do not brake himself. He can hold him off. He's got the bike too. And Platt's run a bit hot as well. So far, VTR, championship winning position for him. And VTR's actually moved down into 3rd place, passing Craig. There we go, into these last few corners. This is where Sire is clearly weaker in terms of he's having to brake a lot harder and later than normal to hold off Platt. But he's just got... Oh, and Platt's going to get really close. He's going to try and force his way underneath the Malaysian, but he's just not able to. Oh, but Sire's gone to the curb, but he's blocked Platt off. But this is brilliant riding from Sire. He's just going to... It's going to be hard, but he's got to do this for another 8 laps. Keeping it going sideways into turn 1. We know Sire's weaknesses. He has a tendency to tuck the front. So I'm pretty sure Platt will know this, and he's just trying to put him under pressure, praying that Sire will at some point tuck the front, because Platt he is probably faster. If he does get in front, we'll probably just see him leave off in the distance. But he's just not got the bike to pull an overtake currently. So it's going to have to be a mistake from Sire, I believe, to allow Platt to get in front, but I would be surprised if Platt pulls off some kind of crazy move. I'm pretty sure he's trying to figure out the puzzle if it comes to a last lap and he's got to pull up some kind of move. It's got to be somewhere where Sire will not expect it. And Platt taking a really fast and wide line through turn 10, and I don't know whether that was the idea. Sire opting the tighter line, running the curb, taking a bit more risk, the front can fold, as we've seen with many people. And Saya's lost the front. He's wide. He's down. There you go. That's all it took. And Platt wheelies because he knows he's won the race. That's what he was waiting for. Jack Bowman's gone down as well. So Platt can now assert his pace. VTR in second, Craig in third. Whoa, and oh my lord, Saya. Just be careful. I know Saya will be absolutely kicking himself. He just had to keep. All he had to do was just keep that braking marker and just maybe brake a little bit 2 meters a bit earlier. Make sure and just get it down to the apex. Oh my god. Unfortunately, he was taking too much margin and he went down. Don't be surprised if you see a red line. Oh, Howling's gone down at turn 7, which is a very strange corner to crash at, but that is probably championship over for him. And Nelson's left, so that's making Howling's job even tougher. I have to got a red line across his name, so he hasn't set the fastest lap of the race, surprisingly to me. But VTR, he has been the main man of the season. He's been very consistent, very rarely outside the podium places. I'll just check how many. He's only had 2 non-podium finishes. His worst being a 6th place. Platt's gone down. Platt has gone down at turn 3. I don't know if he's clipped the curb or something, but now VTR takes the lead in his potentially championship winning race. Saya has managed to find his way past Legendary now. Platt's got it's take 2 now for Platt because he's got another Ducati in front of him. This time it's VTR, and I'm assuming he's going to have the exact same problem. But VTR's run wide. VTR, imagine. And Craig now. Craig's gone off the track. Luckily he's managed to stay on. Legendary in 5th place. If he can just stay on the bike, Saya's got a long lap as well. If Legendary can just stay on the bike, keep to his pace, he might be able to salvage a podium place here if enough mistakes happen in front of him. But for Platt now, it's going to be the same situation, but Vito doesn't seem as strong as Saya out of this section, so his life might be a little bit easier for him. But once again, he's got to try and search for a way to set up the pass. Go on board the Yamaha, even in the slipstream, he can't overtake the Ducati. He's going to try and outbrake VTR into turn 1. He's up the inside, really tight line. He's at the bump and he's managed to make it stick. VTR I think he's opted not to fire because it's much safer to just stay on the bike and take second than risk trying to win. Because the championship, he's doing what's needed to win the championship currently. He needs to win by 5 or more points, and he's currently beating Howling by 7, so that is enough currently. Platt has managed to take the fastest lap of the race from Saya. Seven tenths the gap between these two now. And Legendary has been able, I think with Saya having to take the long lap, Legendary has moved into 4th place. But he is one warning away from a long lap penalty, so Legendary's just got to be careful he doesn't make a mistake. But currently 4th place, that'll be probably the best we've seen of Legendary all season. I'll just check. As Saya's going to go up the inside of the Frenchman, can he hold on to position? No, he's having to let go of the gas. He's going to try and attack though, but he's just missed. He's just avoided the collision there. Legendary, he had 2 top 5s, so this could be his 3rd, 5th place in a row. Hopefully though he can move forwards in this race. So when they cross the line, there'll just be 3 laps to go. Howling Siege, you will definitely be disappointed with how turn 1 went and how he made a mistake. Oh, Sire's gone down. So we've seen Sire's season all over. And here comes Jack Berman round the outside of the Ducati, and Sire's now last. He's gone from leading the race early on to now he's last. All because of 2 mistakes on the front end in the final sector. This could have been a race win for Sire. Unfortunately, it's gone the exact opposite way. Oh, God. So he's going to go round the outside of Jack Boone through turn 7 and 8. And he's done the move. Great move by Sire there. Howling now gets 6, so it's 6 points. So VTR, or if Howling can either jump a position or VTR for some strange reason drops a place, it'll keep the championship alive for him. Sire's drops back down to 7th. As Platt starts the penultimate lap of this race. Through the final corner, these two go. Whoa! Big slide there from Sire. But it looks like VTR might be champion if it stays like this. Platt out in front. 3.2 seconds. I think he's just controlling things now, make sure he doesn't fall off. Oh, he's hit the curb there. Howling's gone down on the final lap, and that is probably the nail in the coffin for his championship hopes, but it's not. But it's the gift for this man, VTR. In season 5, he was inches from winning the title, which it's Olivia said, he threw away. He crashed out. He got done by lag actually as well, but you know he had the advantage. He lost it in the final round, and it really damaged him for season 6 in Division 1. But he's been the strongest guy, Bob Platt, on this game, and it's definitely justice the fact that he will be champion in just 2 corners time. Great job by VTR. I'm sure he'll be very happy. But Platt comes out the final corner, and he will win his final race in VollGazz. But the champion of Division 1 Season 9 will be VTR. Congratulations. He is the champion of the final season in MotoGP 22. Craig Nater finishes in 3rd place. Legendary of his best finish of the season in 4th. Sire, he will be kicking himself. He possibly could have won this race. He finishes in 5th. Jack Berman's 6th. And Howling unfortunately crossed the line in 7th and misses out on the championship. Let's have it. Platt wins. VTR championship winning performance in 2nd place. VTR and Craig in 3rd. Legendary 4th. Sire 5th. Jack 6th. And Howling in 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so Nelson unfortunately will not be racing in the final race of the season, and the weather conditions is wet. And Platt now will join me in the commentary box, so I'll just unmute him for this final race. You know what we'll do his interview now, given it'd be the perfect chance to once everything's sorted.
Alright, hello.
Hello.
There we go.
Right, so we'll get going, and then Platt will talk to you about your race-winning performance there in the Saxon Ring.
Where do I just start? Alright, qualifying went terrible. Got pole position still, so I guess that's okay. It wasn't a lap I wanted. For some reason the bike turned into, I'm not going to say it, but it just turned into a terrible, it just felt terrible during qualifying for some reason. So in the race I decided to relax. When I was behind Sire, I was letting off the gas and braking early, just to, let him lead for a bit before he'd inevitably crash. In the end, just cruised a little bit. I made a silly mistake, just something I'd make because I haven't really played much recently, and took home the win in the end. I just had to make sure that I'd stay in front of VTR, but in the end Howling made a couple of mistakes and he wasn't quite able to take the championship to the final rounds, but congratulations to VTR on the championship. It's well deserved. He's been the best rider this season, and hopefully we'll see a good race now.
Yeah. And just when you were behind Sire, do you think you could have passed him if you were pushing 100%, or was
Oh
this
no, yeah, I would have overtaken him on lap 1, or lap 2 of my mistake or whatever. Yeah. There was a few moments where he'd run wide and I could have just, stuck the gas on 100%, but I said I went 60 just to, chill behind him a little bit. I was also saving the rear tyre, which actually helped me at the end because the pace didn't drop off much, but it was slow anyway, so... Yeah. Who's first down the track here?
Jack.
I think it's Jack, right?
Yeah, he's had a massive slide down the hill. So I'm trying to think. So Jack, he's usually quick in the wet. Sire, you're looking at Jack, Sire, and VTR, and Craig maybe for the wet conditions.
I know that the new champion has had a good pace in the wet. Usually he doesn't really enjoy it, but he's been quite fast in practice. Sire's always fast in the wet, and so is Jack. Maybe we'll see Craig or Legendary do some race. I know this is Legendary's home track, so
yeah, hopefully we can see just a random, a different winner at the end of the season. Craig, he won in Estoril, if I'm correct. Was it?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Took his first victory.
Craig at Estoril.
First race win in Division 1. Jack Berman's yet to win this season. Sire yet to win? Sire won in Mugello, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And Legendary is yet to win. So I think it's been a good season all round. I think that's over 80% of the runners have actually won a race. So that's what we'd like to see.
Pretty impressive.
And Jack, you can't do that.
Oh no!
You can't go back to the box from there. And now he's invalidated his next lap anyway.
Very big mistake from Jack there. He invalidated before he started and then tried to turn into the box, but
Usually that happens when after the first lap, but I've never seen that happen on the out lap. But anyway, we have Legendary here into turn 1. And he's run on the curb onto the paint. He's going to make turn 3. Really, that's the lap gone.
Well, who's next? It's Craig, right?
Craig will
be the next one.
Let's see, through turn 1 and 2, that's a lot better.
That's a very good chicane on the old Craig there. Nice and smooth. keeping the wheels in line, so he needs to go in the wet conditions.
VTR's invalidated, so that's his opening lap out. So,
Looks like we're only going to have laps from Craig and Sire here on the first lap.
Whoa, Craig having a bit of a moment there on the front end. But obviously,
it looks like the Honda's not really sliding on the exit corners, but it's struggling on the entry.
Also, I'd imagine these guys are probably not on their preferred tyres yet, because the last lap of the session will be the fastest, presumably.
Yeah. You think so?
It's not always the case. I mean, when I was in Sachsenring, my best sector 1 was the first lap I did.
Oh wow!
I don't know how I can explain that, but
I guess sometimes it just goes like that.
Yeah.
I think the times we'll be looking at today are 36s from BTR, Sire and Jack probably.
For an opening, I mean, it's not been the greatest of laps, but it's a banker. It's gonna be like a high 30s, maybe even a 40.
I'd say a high 37, low 38.
Mid 38.
Oh wow, mid 38. Wow.
Yeah, he made quite a lot of mistakes. VTR in the box. Sire's invalidated Legendary going for his second run, and he's hit the curb badly there and a massive amount of spin, but he's still going. He's lost the front.
It looks like Craig opted to use the ride height device out of the final corner. I know that some of the riders would enjoy that and some won't. Personally, I wouldn't use the ride height device, especially in the wet conditions. You want to be able to take as much speed into turn 1 as possible.
It is something worth testing, because eliminating the wheelie out of the last corner can be the difference of saving like half a tenth. But if your bike's good enough to not warrant the ride out device, then there's no real need for it. But anyway, Howling comes out the final corner to start his first lap of the session after spending a few minutes in the box. I assume just maybe talking to Breakwing, or maybe just trying to find a wet setting that he likes.
It's BTR Sire running straight on at turn 2.
And Howling's invalidated turn 4. So people struggling here. Legendary, despite his crashes, actually, if he decides to not box, he will actually set a lap time. It won't surprise me if he boxes, and hopefully he remembers if he's going to box, you have to box here, not out the last corner like we've seen Jack do. There's always one person who forgets where the box is around this track and ends up autopiloting and ruining the next lap. Unless Joey goes second.
You have that double right-hander in the pit lane, and it's really easy to go onto the curb and crash, especially in the wet conditions. I wonder if we'll see that. Only Craig and Legendary currently with their lap time.
And Legendary's down again.
A couple of crashes.
VTR, I think it's Jack Berman who's going to be the first person, hopefully, who can set the next lap time. He's going slowly. Fires out the RC16.
So far.
Yeah, lots of crashes, lots of invalidations, lots of mistakes. I would have expected the first lap just for people to go quite careful, just set the banker lap. But Jack Berman's got the soft rear in. So I don't know how much of a difference that will make, because in my opinion there's no real difference between the medium and the soft on this game.
No, I agree. There's not much of a difference. It looks like Jack sets one okay there. He did make a little mistake at turn 1, and yeah, it's okay. We should see 37 start to creep in now though. Craig's lap wasn't the best, so we should see a 37 next.
VTR red sector 1, Jack Berman's run extremely wide through Museum down into Garage Fair now. I can't quite remember where the breaking point is. It's probably one of the white, I imagine it's probably like the white line you can just see through the grass there. As he now powers out down the back straight. 5th or 6th gear depending on your gear ratios. Braking by the Motul sponsorship boards. And VTR is on a lap that should currently put him in pole position.
Jack's just rounding out his lap.
This should put him at second place at worst.
Oh, he's run
Oh,
off
he's
track.
not. Oh, he's invalidated.
And that would also invalidate his next lap as well.
Yeah, Sayers ran on at the chicane. VTR's on a massive moment on the curb at the end of the blue S's. As he goes into the final two corners, has that big mistake.
Oh,
He's invalidated as well.
His lap as well.
Howling sees.
Howling now, red sector.
Come on, Howling, don't throw in this last sector. Come on. Avenge your loss in Saxon Ring. Here we go. Yes, he's done it with whoa, the front end.
Too much power.
Jesus,
a little bit too much throttle, and he lost the rear.
But he still goes top by 0.6 of a second. Saya now he boxes.
The Division 2 times are actually very close to this at the moment, which is a surprise.
Yeah, and the track conditions are a lot better in at this current stage.
Yeah. Maybe these guys have switched off now that the championship's over.
Aaron Jacker's race time would be enough to put him second, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he did a 38.5, I think. Very good race lap from Aaron Jacker.
Oh, legendaries are being invalidated. There's lots of mistakes here and validations going on here.
Crashed as well. Howling's race sector 1, however, he made a mistake at the end of his lap. So
I'm sensing he's going to box.
An improvement, I think. I'll hop on board with him to see what his sector times are. Yeah, he's 6.5 seconds off. This won't be a good lap. He will box this lap. If he boxes now, he will only get, I think, 2 more laps in the session.
Yeah. It might just be the case of just sitting in the box and praying that if the one lap you get is going to be enough, because obviously.
Not sure what VTL's thinking.
I'm talking about the time to go out the box here is like 150 maybe. 155 to try and get across the line with a few seconds on the clock, because that'll be when the track set is driest.
Yeah, that's definitely around the time you want to, but the pit lane here is very long. For some reason, it takes a long time to get out of autopilot. So,
Craig in
red
sector 1. So I think that we'll know where he is.
6 tenths up in sector 1.
6 tenths up. So we know Howling wasn't the strongest in the first 2 sectors, so we'll keep an eye on how Craig's lap time goes as the lap progresses.
He's still a little bit of an advantage. 4 tenths in hand. This should finally be the first 137 of the session.
It should be. But we're seeing so many people invalidate in this final part of the lap.
Craig only reaching 5th gear on this straight. Oh, he's run out of fuel.
He's going to run out of fuel.
3 tenths up in sector 3 as well.
We're just going to wait for the rear end to lock. He's going to try. I know he's going to probably try and get to the end, but I reckon the rear's about to lock any time now. He's still going. Can he make it to the end? It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Can he get to the end before running out of fuel? Up to the line. He's going to do it.
Oh, he ran out, and he still goes top. He ran out of fuel and he still went top. Incredible.
And now Saya, fastest sector 1.
Oh, Saya's gone wide here.
Oh, he's down.
And he's lost the front.
Saya is typical front end crash.
That's a very common crash at Le Mans. Oh, and he's wiped out Howling on Little John. Luckily for Saya, Howling wasn't on a lap. Else that would probably be a penalty.
Yep. Oh, Legendary's used. Why is Legendary using the radar device?
I think he used it on the final corner and couldn't get it back up by the time he went to turn 1. That's the problem with using the ride height device starting a lap.
Yeah, or at the start of the race.
Yeah, at the start of the race as well, yeah. It's a big risk to take.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it doesn't really gain you that much time. It only really gains you time at the end of your lap. So
really, in qualifying anyway, it's not. There's no point to use the right device. Maybe at the start of the race, definitely. You probably need if your starts aren't good enough without it, then you definitely need it. But...
Yeah, the starts. Yeah, the right hand device is pretty good at the starts. You just have to be careful of people dive bombing you at turn 1.
Yeah, because you can't.
Quite easy. And it's easy to get caught up in an incident at turn 1 as well.
And plus, if you go obviously when you go wide through turn 2, that then leads to a chaos. You're going to into turn 3, and it could all end up in chaos. But Legendary is improving. Not crashing so far on this lap. Hopefully, he won't invalidate. He will get one more go. But unfortunately, his timing is not going to be great. Sire might be though. Sire might have good timing.
Sire and Jack both red sectors.
Here comes Legendary now, round the final corner. He does not invalidate. He's going to get one more go at this, providing he's got enough tyre and fuel left on his Suzuki. He crosses the line and he's 1.5 seconds off. Jack Berman now, we'll go with him. He's in the third sector currently.
He's in sector 2. All on the curve, he might lose a little bit of time there.
I'm assuming we're just going to see red sector after red sector after red sector from most people now. But Jack's
2.5 tenths up.
Through the final left-hander of the circuit now into the final 2 corners. Just take it nice and easy, don't hit the curb.
No invalidation this time.
Nicely done. Fire it out.
Not using the right height device.
No, he's going to go again. You got to keep going because the track's going to keep evolving.
37.2. Nice start from Jack there.
Yeah. So here comes Howling with 30 seconds on the Sire's invalidated again.
Howling should jump up to second place here with this lap.
Sire's out. Sire's not going to set a lap time, I don't think. Oh no, he is. He's just started one. Here comes Howling up to the line, and he goes pole.
He goes top. Brilliant.
Now Craig, Legendary, and Craig are on currently pole provisional pole lap times. Legendary through the chicane. So Howling, they're waiting that last sector.
Drying up now. You can see the dry line appearing.
Yeah, here we go into the braking zone for the Blue S's into turn 11. Legendary running over the curb. I'm surprised. Surprised he got away with that through turn 12. It's gone a bit wide there.
Red sectors everywhere.
Yeah, what you'd expect at this stage of the qualifying session. Red sectors for everyone at some point on this lap. I think that's probably the first time I've ever seen that. Up to the line comes Legendary. Where's he going to go?
Should jump up to third here.
Yeah,
and he does. He jumps ahead of Craig.
Craig lost time in the third sector. Can he salvage anything in this final few corners up to the line? He improves by
and he takes the position by 1,000.
Jack Berman's crashed. Jack Berman's crashed. He is out. Sire Feek now into
Howling VTR and Sire on 2 red sectors.
Sire, can he not lose the front in this final sector and snatch pole position away from Howling? Who's going to get pole position out of these 3? All Sire's run really wide through the Blue S. Oh no, that might be it. Howling's improving further. Can he get a 36? Can VTR get a 36? Can Sire get a 36? I feel like Sire might have thrown away his chance at turn 11. But he's done a good last corner. Up to the line for the Malaysian.
Should be fine.
And he goes top.
He goes top half a second as well.
He comes Howling up to the line. And he can only improve by so much. VTR.
Plus the line. He goes second by a tenth and a half off, I think that was.
Yep.
So 2 Ducatis in the front now.
And that was chaotic at the end, but Sire's on pole position and his teammate VTR in second, Howling rounds at the front row in third, Jack Berman fourth, Craig fifth, and Legendary sixth. Well, we've given everyone's consistency there during that session. I'm sensing the race might end up being the same, and hopefully, it might just be whoever stays on wins.
I'm pretty sure. I looked at the dash on Sire's back. I think he was a second up in sector 3.
Yeah.
But he lost time in the final sector, so Sire does have a bit of pace in hand here. Jack was also on a good lap, but he made a mistake. There is a good chance that he'll be up there as well. I think the fight here is probably between VTR, Jack and Sire, but if someone else can get in front into turn 1 or 2, it could make it quite interesting. Sire hasn't, I don't think he's had much practice this week, but this qualifying session would definitely help him warm up and get ready for the race. He should be on fire, especially after winning Mugello as well, which was a rainy race.
Yeah.
Sire has a pretty good record in wet conditions when he's not making mistakes. Usually he has the best pace in the field.
Well, so in Mugello we cleared off after your crashes.
Yeah.
So
Sire did well at Mugello. I think we'll probably see a repeat of that today if he can hold the lead into turn 2, barring any mistakes. I'm just waiting on Craig to ready up and we can get this race underway. Oh, there we go.
Let's go. So we go 6 riders, all within 1.2 seconds of each other. Sire running a 32, I don't know whether he's had the number glitch or that is actually his number. Can't really remember. But here we go, lights are on. Hopefully no one gets the wheel spin glitch. And we are off for the final time on MotoGP 22.
He's got a bit of a wheelie there.
But Sire's off, and I don't think he's decided to use the ride-out device. So he's going to even have a better run maybe through turn 1. Let's see who runs. And yeah, he's got through. Howling seems to have sent up the inside into turn 3. Sire just holds on. Oh, there's loads of backing up. Oh, and they've all survived. They've just about survived, but Sire is out in front. He's got the strongest pace. He's just got to stay on 2 wheels. And he should win this race.
Jack's trying to get up the inside of Prix here. Contact between the two of them.
He just can't quite get through, or has he? Yeah, he has. He's the side by side into Museum. Who's going to be the strongest on the brakes? It's going to be Craig just about. They're going to make contact again.
Legendary's going to gain from this as well.
Legendary benefits from that. But then the
VTR is also trying to look for a move and Howling.
Hard on the brakes into garage fair. This is where we're going to see most mistakes, I think. And everybody not getting crossed up. Jack Bowman's managed to repass Legendary. Legendary going to go back up the inside, forcing his way underneath the RC16. But the power out the corner, and Jack Bowman is going to have a bit more power than the Suzuki. And VTR now is starting to pressurise the Yamaha. We know how fast that. Well, Howling seems to do something with that Yamaha to make it so fast.
And Howling wide.
The first go straight on. Sai's down. Sai's at the gravel. He's gone down. VTR takes the lead of the race.
And the newly crowned champion is in the lead.
And Legendary I think's gone off the track as well. It's all gone on there, but Legendary managed to stay on. But chaos ensued down at turn 9.
The favourite for this race is now down, so it'll be interesting to see if he can catch back up. Or
if he had 1 second over it, well, he had 1/10 over VTR. Well, if he lost half a second in that last sector, you've got to think that, given half a second, he's got 8 laps to close in half a second. Each lap, that's 8 seconds. That's 4 seconds, sorry. It's doable, but it's definitely tough ask. Because Legendary now has gone to the paint in the background. Hopefully, he's not gone down. Him using the ride-out device definitely not going to help him in those situations, and that's why he's running quite hot and quite wide through turn 2. As VTR starting to pull the gap now, 1.4 seconds, 1.3 seconds.
The gap between Howling and Jack is closing as well, with Craig in the middle there. This could turn into a 3-way scrap.
Yeah. It's all about rhythm in the wet, and we're definitely seeing. And look at Sire. Sire's already closed in 1 second on Legendary during the first 2 sectors. We'll just see Sire in a backer shot there coming out of Museum. So if Sire can just stay on the bike, he should be able to join these guys for a podium fight, hopefully.
Looks like Jack has the best pace out of these 3. He's closing off on Craig. Oh, as Craig goes wide at the chicane. He goes across the gravel as well. Luckily he didn't crash like Sire.
Oh, he's at the grass and he's down. Too much gas at lean angle.
The timing on that.
Yeah. It's easily done when you're in slipstream and your braking marker just changes by a couple of meters, and that sometimes can just lead you into the grass. Or in that case, the gravel.
It's very easy to run wide. Especially in the wet conditions where it's easier to make a mistake than it is in the dry. Maybe a little bit too much rear braking or slide.
Yeah, the track grip's improving, but the tyre grip's getting worse. So it's a bit of a conundrum in terms of your braking markers that get closer and closer to the corner, but your tyres get more stressed the longer the race goes. So it's a bit of a conundrum for the riders.
Howling's run wide at turn 2, and Jack has gone through off on the inside, taking full advantage of Howling's mistake.
Oh, and he's at the curb. But VTR, he's kept to himself. He's not made any mistakes so far that we've seen. 2.5 seconds, well, 2.3 seconds the gap. We'll see if Jack can start to bridge that gap. But Sire now 1 second behind Legendary, who is 3.5 seconds behind Howling. So we'll see. No, Sire's down. That is Sire's podium charge over, unless the other guys in front of him start crashing as well. But it's really old. Craig's gone down, I think, with Sire rejoining the circuit.
Oh, no. Howling isn't quite letting Jack get away here.
No, he's staying with the KTM.
He's gaining time on Jack on the straight as well.
Yeah,
Maybe he's in TCS1 or TCS2 on the straight.
Yeah, Howland's been a bit of a myth this season in terms of straight line speed in all conditions. For some strange reason, I don't know whether it's the electronics, the gearbox, the suspension. I don't know what it is, but for some reason his bike, despite the fact being a Yamaha, is a drag machine. Apart from against the Ducatis, he can outdrag any single bike.
Howling, I'm pretty sure, is using traction 1, and if you get a good enough exit on the Yamaha, you can usually stay in the slipstream with the bike in front, unless it's a track like Mugello or Kota with a really long straight. Yeah. Howling's straight line speed has definitely been quite strong this season, especially compared to other inline fours like Legendary's bike. Jack wide at turn 1.
And he said, but Howling, he just seems the bike's refusing to lean over through turn 3. That's his problem.
It's a big risk going across that curb at turn 3. It's very easy to go down in the wet. Looks like Sire's only attacked behind Craig here. The battle of not finishing last place.
Who will get the wooden spoon? Is oh my lord!
Oh, what is Sire doing?
Oh my god!
Oh, Sire. He's waiting. Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough.
I just warrants a long lap all day long.
No, yeah, I fully agree with you there. Yeah, Howling is not letting Jack get away, even with that mistake at turn 3. Still only 2 tenths behind. Jack running slightly wide at chicane again. He's done that for a few laps now. Howling should have the run on him. We're only 2 back up in second place. Good,
it's a battle of mistakes.
If one of them just don't make mistakes, they should be able to hold the position here.
Whoa! And Howling has a massive moment on the rear, losing a lot of grip. He cuts Jack's nose off, but with these guys fighting with each other and making mistakes, it's just letting VTR pull an even bigger gap. And as we start lap number 5, he's already got a 4.5 second lead, so you're looking just under a second a lap over these guys. And when you got that kind of consistency, it's hard to well, he's in the rhythm, he's got no one to distract him. He can only beat himself currently, but Jack Berman going up the inside of Howling. And Jack's going to try and do the undercut.
Oh, Howling's got another warning. One more, he's got a long lap.
One more warning. Long lap coming for the Dutchman.
These two are very evenly matched.
Two very different bikes. Yeah. V4 steel frame versus inline 4 carbon frame. Oh no, not carbon frame, sorry, aluminium frame.
Who would you say should have the advantage in this situation?
Either one of them. They're both experienced in the wet, they're both strong in the wet, they both got bikes that are strong in different parts of the circuit, so I think it's just going to be the one who's got the best rhythm and the one who does the least mistakes. At the moment, that looks like Howling, but I think from lap to lap, it can easily change because it doesn't take much to make a mistake here, as we've seen in qualifying and the race 1. And there we go, Howling, as it breaks himself and runs on, does exactly what Jack did the lap before. He doesn't do what Craig did and takes a little bit less lean angle over the grass, no power, and he makes sure he rejoins in a safe manner and rejoins back behind the KTM, and he's got to do all the work all over again.
A carbon copy of what Jack did last lap. Just ran onto the grass and allowed Jack around the outside.
Probably with Howling not having Jack as a marker that time round, he probably just braked that a little bit later than normal. Craigenator's gone down, and Sire's gone down in sympathy.
These guys are having a nightmare race. Sire has taken his long lap as well, so this is a battle.
Oh, here comes Howling round out, so he has used his ride out device, he's going to brake onto the gravel. This is... How he stayed on, I don't know. Craig
That's
and
just
Sire.
allowed Jack to get away a little bit. A second gap now from that one mistake.
Yeah. Sire looking to find a way past Craig once again. Hopefully it'll go a lot better than last time at La Chapelle. He's going to use the horsepower of the Desmos Sidici to pull to the outside of the Repsol Honda, round the outside through turn 1. This is sort of reminiscence of Rossi and Stoner 11 years ago now, when Craig would go up the inside into turn 3, but he's hit the curb and that's going to prevent his run through the chicane.
Sire should be able to hold this position now.
Yeah.
You never know though, if he makes a mistake, Craig could get back up the inside. That was very close.
Hard on the gas now, up the hill, heading towards Museum. You can see the dry parts of the track forming now as you see all the damp patches as well. All the dry...
Oh,
Oh, Jack Berman's gone down. Where's he crashed?
That will allow Howling
In
to
the
get
S's.
away.
Yep, Howling.
Whereabouts is Legendary?
Legendary's just going out the chicane now.
Not quite close enough.
Oh, Sire's gone down. Arrow's there.
Oh no.
There's mistakes everywhere you look, but Jack now he's got
Vescaril here for Sire.
Yeah, Jack's now got the Frenchman of Legendary. Legendary. He's yet to take a podium in Division 1. He's had quite a few moments where podium could have definitely happened, but unfortunately just a few mistakes have cost him the chance. But I don't believe Legendary's actually crashed so far in this race. He's only one of 2 riders to not go down.
I think, unfortunately, the mistake he made on the first lap is what's cost him the chance of getting Jack here.
Yeah, he's ran hot through the chicane as well.
BTR with a 5.6 second lead. Just staying consistent, not making mistakes.
Yeah.
The brilliant ride from the newly crowned champion. Legendary now over a second back from Jack. Looks like Legendary is struggling to get the bikes stopped. I wouldn't say like stopped for the corner, but I don't know. He's just running a little bit wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, as he just did there.
And Jack ran wide as well. A lot wider than Legendary did, and now 7 tenths the gap. So it's all this race is just about mistakes, and the one who's made the least mistakes is out in front by nearly 6 seconds now.
Jack's ran wide again.
And Legendary's on it. He's on it now. Legendary's biggest strength last season was no mistakes. He was really consistent, even in rounds where the bike simply didn't work. He still brought home big points. And here comes Legendary now. Can he find some confidence, some consistency? He's struggling in braking, but hopefully he can just keep it calm. And with 2 laps to go, he could be on for his first Division 1 podium.
Legendary will be thrilled with this result, especially since it's his home track. He'll be very happy. And this will be the first podium for
Howling's gone down. Howling has gone down at turn 1.
Turn 1.
Or turn 2
he made
even.
A mistake earlier in the race as well. Maybe
he's going to rejoin the track just in the right place. He's got lucky there because he's crashed at the fastest corner of the circuit. And he's also got to be careful as well with track limits. Jack Berman's going to be careful with track limits as well. So, you know, it could very easily be Legendary in second place with long laps if these guys aren't careful.
VTR with a 13.7 second lead.
Yeah, dominant.
Wow. Not even close. It's what consistency does in wet conditions.
Yeah,
everyone else is struggling around you, as long as you're consistent, you should be able to bring out.
You don't have to be the fastest one. You just have to be the one that's hitting those markers, lap after lap.
As Sire says, the fastest lap in last position. Just reiterating your point there. You don't have to be the fastest, as long as you're consistent.
Ooh, and Jack with a little bit of the rear kicking out just a tiny bit there, but Howling 1.4 seconds ahead of the KTM. The pressure's back on him with now 2 riders.
It looks like when Jack's not making mistakes, Legendary isn't quite able to stay with him, but if Jack makes another mistake, which has been quite common in this race, Legendary might be able to make the overtake.
VTR crosses the line to start the final lap of this season on this game. Who is going to win the battle between these 3 for the final 2 podium spots? As Howling now crosses the line to start his final lap. No mistakes from the front 2, and they will finish second and third, but we've seen over these past 8 laps, it's not that simple. Howling braking very hard in turn 1 to make sure his ride-out device deactivates, and there's a massive wobble on the front end. He's at the curb as well. These guys have got to be careful, they don't exceed track limits.
This is the risk of using the ride height device, especially in the wet conditions.
Whoa, a massive slide as well. Oh, and a massive front end shake as well. There's lots of moments.
Now the gap to Jack.
The pressure's on. The tyres are pretty much finished at this stage. They're just spinning up because they're overheating. Even though the track's really dry and sliding all over the place. Is Howling.
A lot on the brakes.
Oh, and Sire's gone.
He's gone down again. So maybe next season on the new game, maybe let's have a good season.
It's a shame because it looked like at the end of last season he'd fixed his crashing and he was constantly getting second places and third
Yeah,
places,
4 second places in a row.
and then it's like he got onto a better bike and decided to throw it up the road more. But we're gonna go to VTR. He is your new VollGazzRacing champion, and he's gonna round this year's game with a win in fine style. Congratulations, VTR! Fantastic run from you, Howling Siege. He's just got 2 more corners.
Oh, Jack's got a long lap.
Oh!
Legendary could be on for the podium.
No
here.
way! Howling Siege rounds the 2 corners, and he is going to finish the season in second place in the
Legendary.
championship, and will finish second place in the
Legendary
race.
rounds the final corner. He'll get his first podium of the season. Brilliant stuff from Legendary there.
Took him all
Staying
season, but he's finally got the podium place, and it's at home. Craig Nater, really
He's in a race to finish it.
really inconsistent race of his standards. Usually, he's the one who stays on and brings home the big points.
Looks
But
like he's not
unfortunately,
going to make it.
oh, and he's cut the corner there to try and catch up, but a bit pointless. He ain't gonna make it. Neither Sire.
Wow. Lots of mistakes in that race.
Yeah, a lot more mistakes
VTR,
than
the only
normal.
one that didn't make a mistake, a serious mistake at least. I saw that he was taking a very safe line between turns 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, VTR, your winner in the final race of the season. Howling Siege in second. Legendary taking his first podium of the season. In third, Jack Berman getting a long lap right at the end there, getting fourth. Craig in fifth, and Sire in sixth. So we will move
VTR
on.
actually set the fastest
So
lap
fastest
of the
lap.
race on the last lap.
Nicely done. So we will move on to the interviews. We might as well. We will start. So I'm trying to remember. We will go with Craig. He got. Where did he finish in?
I think he got. Did Craig get third? I think he got third.
Where did he get? Saxon Ring. It was you, VTR. Yeah, Craig.
Yep.
Right. So, Craig, are you here?
Yeah.
So, in Saxon Ring, it was a very chaotic race. I think everybody ended up on the floor at one stage due to their own fault or not. But third place, how did you feel at Saxon Ring?
I felt quite strong. I probably could have had P2, but I did let VTR through twice. I let him through the first time and he actually made a mistake. The only reason I let him through is obviously to help him with his championship. But I was pretty confident with the race. Unfortunately, me, Nelson, and me and Jack made contact, but it was like one of them ones where there's literally no contact really, and they both crashed. I just felt consistent pretty much throughout the whole race. That's pretty much it.
Yep. Well, good job. Unfortunately, a lot of bad luck in that last race there with Sire and
yeah,
all
blame
sorts.
Sire on that. Obviously, I made a mistake myself at this. Obviously, getting on the throttle too much. But yeah, Sire took me out twice.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I don't know what's happening, but yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations on your podium.
Thank you.
So we'll now move on to the home rider, who finished on the podium at the end there in Legendary. How does it feel to finally get on the podium in Division 1 at Le Mans as well?
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm quite happy to score a podium, even if it's because or thanks to Jack Perlman's penalty. But it was a difficult season for me because I'm not sure I have the right pace to ride in Division 1. I can maybe manage to on some tracks to be fast, but it's difficult this season for Division 1. But I'm happy to score a podium at the last race and at the home GP. Thanks to the consistency, because I didn't crash there. If I had a slightly better pace at Le Mans, I could have probably scored a P2 because of Howling and Jack Berman's pole. But happy to finish like this. Thank you, Jack.
Yep, congratulations. Very happy for you to get a podium at your home GP, and well done on your final few races.
Yeah, congratulations, Legendary, on that podium. Good
So
job.
we'll now move on
Thanks.
to the vice champion of the season, Howling. Saxon Ring was pretty much a disaster from start to finish, but in Le Mans. You made it a bit hard for yourself at the end there, but second place, you must be happy to round out the championship in a strong position.
Yeah, overall, first of all, congratulations to VTR, the man of the season, being consistent in it, and I'm very happy for him that he won the championship, the right guy that put all the effort and time, and it's good if he gets rewarded with this, that he deserves that. For my own race, Sachsenring was a mess because for some reason it didn't really match well in the qualifying. Then in the race I changed some things and that was good. But then I had the worst luck in the world probably, because 2 times, it rarely happens, only maybe in online lobby sometimes. I've had it a few times, but 2 times my joystick went out, and that caused me to literally throw out the chance of staying in the championship race. In Le Mans was pretty good actually, the pace was really good, so I was really happy with that. But like you said, that's where I threw it away for real on my own. Just pushing too hard on the front end and it just went. But I can say that I'm happy with the second place. At a great battle with Jack Berman, sadly I got a long lap on the final lap I think. So other than that, I can say that I've definitely improved in this game, and I look forward to go with the same progress into the next game to go for the championship win.
Yeah. So congratulations. It may not have gone your way, but still being a vice champion is no bad shout.
Thank you.
Now we will say we have saved the best till last. He has been the strongest rider, apart from Platt, on this game, and finally in the last season he has become the Division 1 champion. VTR, how did it feel to cross the line in Sachsenring to become the champion of Division 1?
I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. I mean, it's not what I expected at the start of the season. The race went really smoothly, and I was just in control for Le Mans especially. But Sachsenring, when Platt's around, it's not going to be easy to win. So I just took that carefully and took the second place. I've got 3 wins this season now, and if Platt wasn't racing at all, I would have had 5. So even better. But I think I've done well this season, and I've deserved it. Well done to Howling. He's definitely been a very good competitor. But unlucky to my teammate as well. He deserves a bit better luck. He's had terrible luck all season. Yeah, I think I deserved this championship. Both races went well, and I don't really like the wet weather, as you probably know. I'm pretty terrible in it in most tracks. But here in Le Mans, when I was practicing, I was absolutely flying, and it just proved that today I was miles above the rest of the field. In terms of consistency and pace, fastest lap and no crashes or nothing. So, I think I did well today, and hope to do well next season as well.
Yep, congratulations. You rode a perfect championship winning race at the end there. No real mistakes. You won by 15.7 seconds.
What I wanted.
Yeah, well done. Perfection.
Well done, thank you.
So that is it for another season, another game. We'll be back with you on MotoGP 23 in June. I don't know what the situation's going to be. I'm sure we'll figure everything out. I'd imagine we'll probably, because the race direction mode won't be available straight away, I believe, from what I've read. So it probably means we'll have to start maybe in July, possibly. Who knows? But we'll figure things out. But hopefully we can have a great season in season 10, our 10th season, getting into the decades now of VollGazz. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next season. Goodbye.